All right, shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom. I'm going to start off first and foremost, giving the course all honor, glory, and praises to your house, Hashem, the house of the world called God. The name is only begotten Son, the world called Jesus Christ. We're going to go ahead and get to a quick lesson. As you can see by the title, it's spiritually minded, carnal minded. Choose. So in this truth, you got to choose whether to be spiritually minded. You got to choose whether to be carnal minded. Right? You know, you got to choose life. You got to choose death. Right? These things are essential to you growing in the spirit. You going like a tree by the water. And if you're doing one or the other, you're gonna yield the fruit there. Go ahead and start the first question. You want to go to Romans? All right, go ahead.
Book 1 Corinthians chapter 1. And our brother, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, crying unto you the testimony of God.
I agree. What, 1 Corinthians? The first part of it? Yeah, read it again.
Oh, our brother, when I came to you, came not with the excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of God.
So, you know, declaring the testimony of the Most High, not using excellency in speech, right? So, excellency in speech would be you sort of being deep with your words, you sort of using flattering words. But no, we just declaring the Most High, the word in the Most High, the testimony.
Right.
God. You keep reading.
For I determined not to know anything among you, save Yahweh not and crucified him. And when I
go ahead.
And when I was with you in weakness, fear, and much trembling. And my speech and my preaching was not the enticing word of man's wisdom, but the discrimination of the spirit and of the power.
Right. So we're not using enticing words or man's wisdom. You're coming with the spirit and of power. Right? Keep reading. Okay, go ahead.
So Proverbs 7:1. Going back, Paul said, my speech and my preaching was not enticing the words of man wisdom, man. Because you gotta understand, man, how people in these Christian churches, man, y'all listen to man, y'all don't listen to the wisdom of the Most High God, man. Proverbs 7:1, and it reads. Oh, so like Proverbs 7. On 7. The fear of the Lord, knowledge. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. To get this truth without understanding, you must fear the Most High. The Christian church, man, they don't fear the Most High. That's why they have that wise. That's why they have that understanding, man. That's why y'all in darkness right now. But it said, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So their wisdom is their wisdom is the wisdom of men, not the wisdom of the Most High.
Yeah, just get right here. We'll just take this camera off. I was talking to y'all. Yeah, kill it. Do all the most you can.
I'm gonna read verse 6. How bad we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that came not. But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which God ordained before the world unto our glory.
So we speak in the wisdom of the Most High. We're going off the wisdom, the truth, the word, and ultimately the spirit of the Most High. Right? So we're not using flattering words, come with things like Esau does, saying words you can't even understand, right? Trying to make them sound better. We're using thus saith the Lord. Keep reading it out. You know what? All right.
We speak unto him in a mystery. So I got a priest but we speak in the wisdom of God in a mystery. Let me get that in I think it's Ezekiel. Hey, can you get Ezekiel 17:2 for me?
Yeah.
Ezekiel 17:2. Because when we speak in the wisdom of the mystery of God, because the mystery of the kingdom of heaven is spoken parables.
God.
And that's that Ezekiel 17:2.
It is Ezekiel chapter 17 and verse 2.
It
says, Son of man, put forth a riddle and speak a parable into the house of Israel.
He said, put forth a riddle and speak a parable into the house of Israel. So that lets you know right there that everything has been ordained since the beginning of time. Because when you speak in a riddle or a parable, everyone is not going to understand that riddle or a parable, because wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is not given to everyone. So that lets you know that the Most High has already ordained the elect since the beginning of time, the ones who are going to come into this truth, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the ones who are going to understand the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, and the ones who not going to understand the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. So everything has been ordained since the beginning of time. You got the ones who are going to get it, and you got the ones who's not going to get it.
That's right.
Let me read on verse 8, which none of the princes of this world knew, for they had known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. So the Lord said, if the princes and the kings would have known this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, Yahweh Shah would have never been crucified. But they didn't have this. They didn't have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So they wasn't. So they were in darkness.
That's right.
Read on verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him. But God has revealed them unto us by his Spirit. For his Spirit searches all things, the deep things of God. So when the Most High, when the Most High is dealing with you, when the Holy Ghost is upon you, and you have that wisdom and knowledge and understanding, it says that the Spirit searches all things. You will want to just to go into the milk of the book. You will want to search out the meats of the scriptures. You will want to go into the deep prophecies of the book, because those are the things that you will want to understand when the Spirit is upon you. Verse 11. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him. Even so, the things God knoweth no man, but the Spirit of God know. Verse 12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit of God, that we might know the things that are freely given unto us.
Freeze up.
Now, please up.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 22.
Right.
The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, and goodness. So these things that you said that the Lord give us, these are the gifts that he give us.
Right.
And the ones that have these gifts, the kindness, the love for his brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, joyfulness, all these things are given by the Lord. A lot of people don't have these things. That's why they say by the fruit you should know them.
That's right.
They don't have that love for their brothers, the love for the word, the love for Yahweh Shah, the love for their father. They ain't walking in the Spirit.
That's right. That's right. Verse 13, which things also we speak not in the words which man's wisdom teaches, but the Holy Ghost teaches, comparing spiritual things with spiritual things. But the natural man receives not the things of the Spirit of God, but they are foolishness. But they are foolishness unto him. I got a precept for that. Precept. Let me go to Proverbs.
So the scripture right there in verse 14, it says, just keying in on what we're talking about here, right? Being spiritually minded or carnally minded. And it says, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him, right? So it's foolishness unto a carnal person for someone to be fasting, for someone to pray. And they sort of going to be like, man, if you hungry, eat, right? They're not going to understand fasting, right? They're not going to understand praying. They're going to sort of be like, do what you got to do to make that happen, right? They're not going to trust in the Most High. So what you got to understand is, and we're going to get deeper and deeper into it as the lesson goes on, but you have to walk spiritually minded in all things.
That's right.
You can't be spiritually minded, but you sort of carnal minded on certain things, man. You got to be spiritually minded in this thing and in this walk and in this truth. And a lot of people that's having the problems or going through these things because they're not spiritually minded. They're walking carnal minded. Or they sort of dealing with the Most High, but when something happens that really gets to them, they act like the person in the world. That you can't walk like that. You cannot do it. Because it says, I'm going to read it again for you get that precept. The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. So a natural man is another way for saying carnal man. Right? And you don't want to be a carnal person. You don't want to be a natural man because that's like the people in this world. Go ahead and get that precept out.
Yeah, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Precept Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 9. Speak not into the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy word. So there you go, like being carnal minded, being a natural man, a person of the world, loving the worldly things. It says that you would the man receive not the things of the Spirit of God, but because they are foolishness unto him. So a fool despise wisdom. You know, they hate the word of God. They don't like to hear the word of God because they're carnal minded. You know, they like to do the things that they want to do. They don't like to do the things of the Most High.
Romans chapter 12. I beseech you, brethren. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of God, that you present your body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, to the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect in the will of the Most High.
So you can, that's telling you right there, man. You got to walk in the Spirit, man. You can't walk in the ways of this world, man. You can't be playing both sides in this thing. And you got to choose one. You're going to be spiritually minded or you're going to be carnal minded. Right. You're going to be dealing completely with the Most High or you're going to sort of still deal with the world on the side. You know? You going to finish that 1 Corinthians?
Yeah, I finished it up. Verse 15, but he that is spiritual judges all things.
Yeah.
So there you go. He that is spiritual judges all things, man. So the brothers and all these brothers and sisters in the truth, man, we judges all things, man, because the children of Israel, man, the saints of the Most High, we are the judges of the earth. We are the one that set the standard for the Most High, man, at the gate, man. You know, in this wicked kingdom, man, because we are spiritual. We are spiritual minded. We are no longer in the world. We're not carnal minded no more. We're not doing the things that we were in the world. You know, we're not celebrating Thanksgiving. We're not celebrating Christmas. We're not going to the club every Friday and Saturday night. You know, we doing everything that the Most High that the Most High wants us to do. We're doing the will. We're doing the will of the Father, man. And yet He Himself is the judge. Yet He Himself is judged of no man. Verse 16. For who knoweth the mind of the Lord, that we may instruct him.
Get Romans 8:1. Let's continue right in with this.
Right. Romans 8, the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 1. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Mashiach Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh,
right,
but after the spirit.
So you can't walk after the flesh. That's being carnal minded.
That's right.
You have to walk after the spirit, right? You got to continue to walk in the spirit, right? So whatever you deal with, or whatever you deal carnally with, you got to cut that off, man. That's part of killing that old man, right? That's part of destroying that old man. The only way you're gonna destroy it is when you're not like the precept Yahweh I just brought out, right? Not being conformed to the ways of this world.
Right.
You can't conform yourself to the ways of the world, because the ways of the world are the ways of the flesh, or being carnally minded. There's some more in there.
That's more it.
Yeah, go ahead.
For the law of the spirit of life in the Mashiach Yahushua has made me free from the law of sin and death.
Right. So the law of spirit of life and the Mashiach Yahushua have made us free from the law of sin and death. Now, when people talk about Yahushua, and they'll be, oh, the law is done away with. This is some of the scriptures they would try to go to. They say, oh, yeah, we're free from the law of sin and death. They don't understand Yahushua is done for that mercy that we don't get put to death for the things that we done wrong. Right? So instead of us getting put to death, we got grace and mercy and truth through Yahushua for our sins. Keep reading that.
I got a precept too.
Actually, oh yeah, get what you're gonna get, because I want to go down anyways.
Okay. Oh, so going back to that, man. Walking after the spirit and not after the flesh. I got a precept, the book of John, chapter 7 and verse 7. The world cannot hate you, but me it hate her. World cannot hate you, but me it hate her, because I testify of it that the world works thereof are evil. So I was about to say, so there you go. The world cannot hate you, because what Yahweh always said. He said the world hated you. Know that they hated me. Know that they hated me before hated you. So you know, man. If you're spiritual minded, the world's always gonna hate you, because you're not doing the things you're not doing the things of the world. You know, when it comes to your family members, like the ones that celebrating these holidays, doing the worldly things, and you know, you got to rebuke them, man. It's like you going off. You know, like you can't be doing those things, man, because there's nowhere in the scriptures, there's nowhere in the Bible, there's nowhere the end of the prophets Yahweh was celebrating any of these worldly holidays and these traditions, and what they was doing things of the world. So you know, when you're walking in the spirit and you're moving in the spirit, the world is always gonna hate you, man, because people out here, man, they're carnal minded, man, and you know they're forsakers of the they're forsakers of the Lord, and they're always going to walk in darkness and be in darkness.
That's right. And they can't understand what you're doing. They can't understand. This is why when we read on to understand this, but you have to constantly stay in the spiritual mind. You can't take anything like it used to be, like when you was in the world. Even in your households, the way you move in your household, your personality, it's got to be checked by the Spirit of God. You can't be acting the same way you did in the world, but yeah, you quoting a couple precepts, man. You quoting precepts, and you're a man or a woman of God all throughout the week until something sets you off, and you going back in the world, man, throwing hands and acting like a fool, acting like that old person, right? You gotta kill that old man. You gotta put him to death. Again, Romans 8 and 6. All right, God. I want to get this verse and you bring out your precept.
All right. The book of verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death.
Right.
But to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
So to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. So a carnal man, he's gonna make the wrong decisions, man.
Right.
You know, people. You know, as people, carnal people in the world ask you, "Hey, if you had nothing else to eat and you were stranded, would you eat pork?" Hell no, I wouldn't eat pork, right? Because I'm spiritually minded. Now everyone else is carnal minded. They can be like, "You don't lost your damn mind. Eat some of that pork that can save your life." No, I'm gonna trust in the Lord and I'm gonna keep His laws and I'm gonna lead it wherever He lead me, right? So that's walking in the spirit. You're not gonna make a carnal decision. You're not gonna make a decision that everyone else will make because you walk in the spirit and not in the flesh. And you will have life and peace because you got something to trust in, which is the Most High. Get that precept out. You got
Ephesians 5 and verse 6. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of this thing come the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. Be you not therefore partaker with them, for you were sometime in darkness, but now are you the light in the Lord. Walk as the children of the light.
As the what?
As the children of the light.
Yeah.
For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and in truth.
You gotta walk in a way of light, man.
That's right. You
gotta be a shining light for Israel. You can't be a shining light if you going back into your carnal ways, man. It's impossible, man. Right? So you gotta continue to have that light shining, have your candle burning, and being an example for the nation, having a good name, walking in the ways of truth. Man, you cannot continue to fall victim over and over and over and over and over and over again to the same exact things, man.
That's right.
You got to overcome these things with the Spirit. You got to.
That's why you call us the light of the world.
Right.
That's right.
I got a precept. Let me go back. I'm gonna read the verse back over again. This is Romans 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. I got a precept to go with that. Proverbs 14 and 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man,
right,
but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Right.
So the ways that seem right unto a man, that's being carnal minded.
Exactly.
That's being carnal minded, and those and being carnal minded, those are the ways. Those are the ways that are death. An example is that is let's say you out and about, and you walking down the street, and you just happen just to bump into your brother. You know, instead of just telling your brother, man, it's cool, man. You know, it's cool. I didn't mean to bump into you. You know, y'all want to get hostile.
Yeah.
Y'all want to get carnal minded. And then that's when y'all want to fight, or a gun get drawn out. Then you end up killing your brother, or end up hurting an innocent bystander, man.
That's right.
You that might have been a way that seemed right unto that man.
That's right.
But the end was the ways of death. He just committed a sin, and now he's about to get locked. Now he's about to get locked up, and he's about to go to prison.
Exactly.
And when you being spiritual minded, that's life and peace, man. You would have made a better decision at the end of the day, man. You would have walked away and say, you know what, brother, it's okay, man. I ain't mean to bump into you, man. You supposed to love your brother, man. You supposed to forgive your brother.
And I want to jump in. And you got to drop your pride down to be spiritually minded, man. You can't be prideful and be spiritually minded, because you're not going to humble down enough to be spiritually minded. You're not going to make that decision like that, because you're going to be in your pride. You're going to be like, nah, damn, a nigga, step on my feet like that. My new J's, my new shoes. You're not going to humble down, man. And it's the same way in these households, man. If a husband and a wife, they getting in an argument, hey, y'all got to humble down, man. You can't keep being carnally minded. You playing games against your own other side of you. You're literally one flesh, right? You're one flesh, and you're going against your other flesh. You're going against yourself. That's what you're doing, because you still got that carnal way you think in the world, man. Mm-hmm. Carnal way you think in the world of gotta get the up on them, I gotta prove my point, and I gotta get the dub. I gotta win this argument. You gotta humble down in this thing, or you're gonna be walking carnally minded, man. Got to.
Got a precept on that.
Some more.
Yeah, get a precept.
It's some more.
Yeah, we definitely.
We got precept. I'm gonna bring precept.
We definitely gonna bring that.
Revelation 2:20. It said that listen to this. Am I crucified with Christ, Yahushua? Nevertheless, I live. Yet not I, but Yahweh shall live in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God, who loves me and gives himself for me. So you can't go by your own feeling no more, man. You're supposed to be a new man now.
That's right.
You're supposed to be living like the son of the Most High now.
That's right.
You're supposed to be a new creature.
New creature.
The scripture says if you're in Christ, you're supposed to be a new creature, man. But you the same creature, just know a couple precepts. No, that's not how it's gonna go. And the Most High, He know your bluff. You can fake it with men. You can fake it around certain people, and you can sort of be on your stuff around men, right? And you can sort of, but that's why the Most High says He tried the heart, man's heart. He knows what man does, man.
That's right.
You can sort of play it around men because men, they look on the outward appearance, right? But the Most High know what's up. He know the deal, man, right? And if you fear Him, you got to drop that carnal mind, man. That's right. And you got to walk in the Spirit. You got to walk like look. You talking about brother stepping on your shoe? You imagine what they did to Yahweh, man? Buffeting him, spit on him, right? You know how many people came up to him, accusing him, right? Talking bad on his name. Did Yahweh drop his staff and start teeing off with people, man? Did he start throwing hands? No, man. There's no account of that, man. There's no account in the scriptures. Hey, how was I saying, what's up? Let's get it going. There's no account of that, man. So you got to humble yourself in this thing. If you call yourself a follower of Christ, you call yourself one of His members.
Right. You can't want to always be in strife, man.
That's right.
That's right.
A lot of Israelites be ready to fight.
Yeah,
right, man.
Yeah, come.
And to the Christians, man, the Christian churches, man, y'all are corner-minded, man. Y'all just don't know it. But y'all are, man, because when the truth of the scriptures come out, man, y'all get upset about it.
Right.
And it's the truth of God, man. Y'all want to get cornered with your brother. You want to get loud. You want to rage when the truth of the Most High God is coming out, man. You know,
that's right. Yeah. And it's finna, in verse 7, it's finna speak about that. Go ahead and bring that up.
Because verse 7. Because the carnal minded is enmity against God.
So enmity is another word for
enmity against God.
That's another word for hatred.
That's right.
The Most High He hates a carnal mind.
That's right.
He hates a simple-minded Jake, a simple-minded Eve that goes on living their life how they want to live, do whatever the hell they want to do. They hold from sun up to sundown, right? From sundown to sundown, right? And then they would sit around and want to call on the Most High once they get bound up. Once they get in when they get into a situation, but all their whole life, all they do is care about themselves and care about what they got going on and what they got to do, right? So the Most High is enmity against God, a carnal mind, right? Because why? Verse 6, it says, I'll finish it out since you're on that precept. Okay. It says, for it is not subject to the law of God. So the Most High, He hates that because you don't care about the Most High, man. You don't care about His word because you're not subject. And that goes deep. That's in the households. If you you know how the way the Lord set up the household. He set it up the man, the woman, and the child. And you got to deal with that, man. Right. You got to be subject to that law of God, man. You can't, if you're a woman, you can't be bucking up and talking junk to your man, man. Right. And if you're a man, you can't be bucking up and talking junk to Christ. You can't be, man, y'all was man, hell. That's out of order, man. You know the Most High set up the man. And we got people over us too. We got Yahweh, we got the Most High. That's order, right? So in your household, you have to be subject to the laws of God. That's right. You have to be subject. If you're not, it's a problem, and that's where problems end up at because you're being carnally minded, right? You want to do things your way and your way only. It's not how it's going to work with the Most High. And if He loves you, He's going to reprove you for doing that. And that's sort of how you get banged up for doing that. Just like a Jake that stepped on a brother's shoe and want to fight. Now he's doing the rest of his life in prison. Or now that brother pulled out a gun and bust him 2 times in the stomach. And now he's dead looking up in the sky. Right? Get the precept.
Got a precept. I'm going to go back to because the carnal minded is an enemy against God. A precept, James chapter 4, verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses. Know ye not that the friendship of the world is an enmity with God? Yeah. So when you go in that word intimate, that's a perpetual like hatred. Yeah. That God now it's like God has mutual feelings between Him and you now. Yeah. And God feels some type of way about you, man. Yeah. You know, it said, whosoever therefore would be a friend of the world is an enemy of God. So you Christians, man, y'all want to be a friend of the world, man. You know, y'all want everybody to gather together, all nations to gather together. You know, everybody, you know, gather together. You know, everybody worship together. You know, but the Lord didn't make it that way. The Lord said we should be. The Lord said that we should be separated. The Jews and the Gentiles should be separated from one another, man. You know, I
want to add to that. And not only the Christians, we talking about people in this truth that need to take heed to this word too.
Right.
You got to take heed to the Most High telling you that, hey, look, if you a friend of the world means you sort of deal with the world on the side. Right. You sort of look back into the world when nobody ain't looking. You deal with it. Like you sort of celebrated Thanksgiving on the low, man. You know, you sort of came in there and your people was talking, and that's a friend of the world, man. Right. And the Most High hates a friend of the world, man. He hates someone that continues after they don't heard this word and they still playing around with the world, right. Still acting like people in the world. Still, instead of looking up to the righteous women of like Sarah, looking up into like Rachel, looking at these righteous women, our women want to be like them. On the low, they really want to be like Cardi B. On the low, they really want to be like these women in the world, they damn favorite movie actors. Right. And instead of Jake looking up to Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah, these men in the Lord that stood up for the Lord, and ultimately Yahweh, the Savior of the nation of Israel, man, which the Most High sent for our sins and our iniquities. Right. Instead of looking up to him, they say, well, I'm gonna look up to this nigga with this baller with a chain. He riding in the car. He making rap music on the side. I'm gonna look up to the Migos and these brothers here, you know. So, and those things come in the way you act too, man. You need to be a friend with the Most High. That's right. A friend with the Most High ain't gonna be a friend with the world.
That's right. That's right. And me and these brothers, man, we're not friends with these. We're not friends of the world, man. We hate this. We hate this.
Yeah, you should hate it.
We hate it, man. And what about to say? And you Christian, y'all want to be friends. I mean, y'all want to be peace with the world, man. And what Yahweh Shai say? He said, "I come not to sin. I come not to bring peace, but a sword." Yeah. So you know, Yahweh Shai didn't come to bring peace. You know, I got another precept there too. You should let's see. I got Amos. Book of Amos. Book of Amos, chapter 5. I'm gonna get in my phone right quick.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna while you getting that, I'm gonna go to Roman. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 15. It said, "Hate the evil and love the good." Mm-hmm. So, man, when you say hate the evil, man, you should hate the wickedness of this world, man. You can't be a friend of the world, man, because if you're a friend of the world, man, you loving the evil that's being committed down here on this wicked land, man. Right. You know. And you say you're supposed to love the good. Y'all don't love the good, man. You know, man, y'all don't establish mercy to the ones that's been doing wrong down here unto this wicked kingdom, man. You know,
I want to add on that. Look, you gotta sort of deal with the Most High, man. You can't be sitting there dealing with this world at all. The brothers, that's a powerful. Most I said you should hate evil, right? If you hate something, you ain't gonna deal with it. If you hate something, you don't sort of still deal with it on the low. You know, you got people that still down, like I say, celebrating these folly days, still doing things of the world, still sort of acting like the person they was in the world when things go down. Everybody's good until they tempted, right? When you tempted, that shows what the person you're going to be. Are you going to immediately go back to that man in the world? Because the angels are taking notes and they writing it down. And they saying, look, hey, that brother, he did exactly went right back to did with exactly what he used to do, right? When he was, because it's good to talk about it. Brother, I'm humble and I'm meek. And brother, I humble down and I'm a changed person. But when it comes to the temptation, when it's put in front of you, how you do when it's in the paint? How you do when it's time to show your faith, right? When your spirit is tested, are you willing to say, "I'm gonna make the right decision. I'm not gonna give over to the flesh," right? That's what you got to do in your households. That's what you got to do on a daily basis with your own household, which is your body, right? You got to make sure your temple is always cleaned out. You are the temple of the Most High God, man.
That's right.
So you got to be cleaning out that temple, man. Nobody want to come to a temple. It's all broken down. It's got them all of them concrete and everything is falling apart, right? It's bugs and everything. No one want to come to no temple like that, man. You want a nice temple, so you got to keep that temple nice. You got to sort of come by and make sure you cleaning it. Yeah. You got to examine yourself.
Get all the dust off of it.
Yeah, you got to get the dust off of it. You got to make it keep sparkling, man, because the dust gonna come, right? The dust gonna come. You got to clean it up, though. Go ahead.
For the flesh,
Mr. Priest.
Galatians 5:17.
Okay.
For the flesh lust against the spirit,
Mm-hmm.
and the spirit against the flesh.
Right.
And these are contrary the one to another.
Right. So they contrary one to another. The flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. So you got the flesh that comes, and you got the spirit. You gotta walk in the spirit. And that's what we finna read coming up.
All right. Verse 8. So then that are in the Salakia. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please God.
This is a key scripture. Don't matter what you think you're doing, right? No matter you reading this Bible, you watching videos, you what's all the other things you do? Taking notes, writing things down, right. Thinking in your mind, you being diligent. If you still in the flesh, you cannot please the Most High. Right. The Most High don't give a damn what you're doing, right? Because you still in the flesh, you still acting like that old man. You still doing the same old things. You can't make that up. Keep reading.
But ye are not in the flesh,
right?
But in the spirit. If so be that the spirit of God dwells in you.
Right.
Now, if any man have not the spirit of a Mashiach, he is none of his.
Right. So if you don't have the spirit of a Mashiach, you're none of his. Right? If you ain't for being a follower of Yahweh and you trying to walk in truth, Most High ain't dealing with you, man. He said you none of his. Yeah, you ain't his child.
He ain't dealing with you.
You ain't his. He ain't dealing with you. That's right. Yeah, he dealing with you, but he dealing with you for wickedness. Right?
You gotta check yourself.
God.
This Galatians chapter 5, verse 18. These are some of the things that you check yourself by. Now the works of the flesh are manifested, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred. All these things, you go on and on, wrath, strife, envy. So these are the things you check yourself by. If you still doing these things right here, guess what? You still walking in the flesh.
So you gotta make sure in your household you ain't got no strife.
Even drunkenness.
You gotta make sure you ain't in your household you can't have strife with another.
Hater.
Can't be a hater. That's can't right. Be envying.
That's right.
Your husband pull up in a new car. You like, damn, I can't stand it. It give me nothing. That's right. That's going off, right? That's going off, man. You should feel happy for him, right? This is what you should do, right? You can't do anything. Exactly. That's the spirit you should come in, because y'all one flesh. But you got that in relationships, man. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, it's real. You got people that are together but hate on each other, hate on each other, have strife with each other, trying to get the one up on each other. But yet they still think they walking spiritually minded. No, it don't work like that. You walking carnally minded. No matter how much, no matter if you saying no, I don't want no pork. No matter if you making sure you checking on the back of the labels, making sure everything ain't got no gelatin in it. No matter if you you might come to some feast days and you might try to stand up for count every week or so, right? No matter what you doing, if you not if you in the flesh, you can't please the Most High, right? Matter of fact, he said you none of his.
He said no, you none of his.
Right?
You gotta get out of that flesh.
Yeah, you got to.
And if Christ be in you, the body is dead because of sin,
right? But
the spirit is life because of the righteousness,
right? Can you read?
But if the spirit of him that raises up Yahushua from the dead dwells in you, he that raises up Hamashiach from the dead also shall also quicken your moral bodies by his spirit that dwells in you.
Right.
Therefore, brethren, we are debaters.
Debtors.
You say?
Debtors. Yeah.
Not to the flesh, to live after the flesh.
Right, so you shouldn't live after the flesh. When you're saying you got a debt to the flesh, that means you always giving in to your flesh. You always giving in to whatever it is, whether it be anger, right? Whether it be them lust, whether it be covetousness, whether it be them all the things that you can do. We ain't gotta go down the list, man. Adultery, right? Anything you struggle big time with, and you doing it. Look, man, you going off.
Right.
You going off, and it's not only saying you going off, but it's saying that you are debtors to the flesh. That's why the scripture says you can't be debtors to the flesh when you walking in the spirit. You can't be constantly giving into that same thing. You got to sharpen yourself, man. You got to overcome lest ye fall. You got to be examining yourself. Right? Keep reading.
Right. For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the spirit do mortify the deeds of the body.
If you do what?
If you shall mortify the deeds of the body,
right,
you shall live.
So mortify is a word for killing.
That's right.
You gotta kill the deeds of the body. Now you might lose sometimes, right? Let's be real. You might take an L. You know, the flesh might overcome you, but you gotta get the win. You gotta get the dub. You might lose a battle, but you gotta win the war, man.
That's right. You
gotta win the war, man. And you gotta overcome it, because if not, you done with. Keep reading that.
I gotta say something on that. And when you dealing with the deeds of the body, man, those are the desires that your flesh wants,
right.
Man. You know, you gotta, man. You know, you gotta stay fast, man. Sometimes, man, you gotta fast, man. You gotta pray.
That's right.
You know, to forsake the deeds of the body, man. That's why in Ecclesiastes 2:1, man, it says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, man. Mm-hmm. And temptation is the deeds of the body, the desires of the body, man. Because you know, for an example, man, you know, let's say when you and your homeboy call you up and say, hey, man, let's and a lot of brothers, man, they deal with their lust temptation, man. Yeah. That's a deed of the body, man. Your homeboy might call you and say, hey, bro. Hey man, let's go out to the strip club, man. Let's throw some money on our sisters and this and that, man. What else going on, man? You gotta forsake that deed of the body, man.
That's right.
Cause you know, man, cause you know, man, when you forsake the deed, if you forsake the deed of the body, man, you doing the things that the Most High wants you to do, man. You know.
And I got a precept for that. This is Proverbs 21:16. It says, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. So if you love just pleasures and you love doing whatever gets you off, they might, like I say, certain people have certain things that get exposed in themselves once they're tempted with those things. When that thing is in front of them, man. Whether it might be you getting up on an argument, you having strife with your people in the household, right? Whether it might be you hating a brother, whether it might be like the brother say lust, whether it might be all these things, man. Look, you got to make sure your job is to stay on top of yourself and examine yourself. And you got to go hard with that, man, because if you don't, you'll wake up one day and you're out of this thing, right? You're completely out of it. Because if you wander out of the way of understanding, you're going to remain in the congregation of the dead. Right. You're going to be just like them people in the world that you talked about for a couple of years. And you're going to go right back to that because you kept letting that flesh overcome you over and over and over and over again. And before you knew it, there was no spirit left. Before you knew it, you was solo dolo and you was just the flesh, right? Go finish that Romans 8 out. There's one more precept I want to.
For as many are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God.
Yeah, so if you led by the Spirit, these are the people that's going to be the sons of God.
That's right.
These are the people that's going to be called by the name. These are the men you're going to see as the elect. The women and children you're going to see as the 1/3. Those that were led by the Spirit. Those that overcame the deeds of the flesh. Why you think Yahweh said, to him that overcometh? That's right? Because you got to overcome these things, man. Then he's going to let you get in the kingdom. To him that overcome. They're the only ones that's worthy because they had something they had to overcome. Right? Yeah, get your precept. You got a precept, y'all?
Got a precept, the book of Matthew,
Romans 8:13.
And when you deal, I'm gonna tell you this is powerful right here, man. When you're dealing with the spirit, man, because when the spirit is upon you, man, you're not carnal minded. When you're spiritual minded, man, you question everything.
Right.
Like you even question like who your mother and who your brothers is. Because just because we brothers, just because it's your brother in the flesh, is that actually like your brother?
Right.
Because your brother still might be carnal minded, you know, and you're spiritual minded. Let me get that in Matthew. Matthew, I think it's 12:48. Let me get that.
Before I want to add this real quick. This is Romans 7:14. It says, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold into sin." So, what makes you spiritually minded is when you're walking after the laws of God. That's what makes you spiritually minded. It ain't, you know, you got Zays that think they deal with energy, they deal with vibrations and vibes. You got some crazy Jakes out there, man. I'm gonna tell you that now, man. They deal with all type of chakras. No, the way you tell if someone's being spiritual is that they are subject to the laws of God. Go ahead, I'll finish what you said.
But yeah, let me get this. Matthew 12, and I'm gonna start at verse 48. Verse 47. Then one said to him, "Behold, thy mother and thy brother stand without, desiring to speak with thee." But he answered and said unto him who told him, "Who is my mother and who is my brethren, man?" So you know, Christ asked the man, he's like, who is my mother and who is my brother, man? Because you know, man, you just can't be quick to call someone your brother, man. You gotta see if they're moving in the spirit, just like you move in the spirit. That's why the scriptures say because they are Israel, they are not all of Israel, you know, because Israel, you have part of Israel who's gonna be the elect, and you have part of Israel who's not gonna be the elect, you know. Let me finish there. And he stretched forth his hand and towards the disciple and said, "Behold, my mother and my brother. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven is the same, my brother and my sister and my mother." So you know, if you're doing the will of the Father, and when you're doing the will of the Father, you're spiritually minded, man. Everything is spiritual, man. Nothing is carnal. Nothing is carnal. So the ones who are moving in the spirit, spiritually minded, doing the will of the Father, that's your true brother.
That's right. Come on. Now, yeah, go ahead and get that out.
Ephesians 4:1. Therefore, the prisoner of the Lord beseech you that you walk worthy of the vocation wherewith you are called,
right,
with all fullness and
lowliness,
and with all meekness and with all long suffering, for hearing one another in love, envy, to keep the unity of spirit in the bond of peace. That there is one body and one spirit, even as you are called into one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, and one baptism.
God. So we all are called to be what? Prisoners of the Most High.
That's right.
And we are debtor to Him. And how we do it? We by walking in the Spirit.
Walk in the Spirit.
You can't walk in the flesh and still call yourself a son of the Most High.
Right.
Because you're gonna do the things that please you.
And take heed. It said, that's what we was reading Romans 8. It said you got to walk in the spirit of Christ. So the same way Christ was walking, that's your pinnacle. That is the spirit. That's what people don't understand. People say, what's the Holy Spirit? What's the Holy Ghost? Let's get it in Isaiah 11. It's Isaiah 11:1. And it says, and there shall come forth a rod of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding. This is talking about Yahweh, in case you didn't know. The Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. These are all the things that you should have, right? This is the goal you got to have. And it says, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor and reprove. You mean Christ judged? You mean he made decisions? Oh no, he just let it fly, right? No, he judged, right? But with righteousness shall he judge the poor and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth, and he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. So look, man, this is telling you what the Spirit is, right? It's all of what Yahweh had, right? He is the word. He is. Why you think he said the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, they are life, right? This is it, right? So you got to do those things, man. You got to walk in the Spirit that you won't fulfill the lust of the flesh. Y'all got a precept? I gotta get a precept.
What you look for?
Walk in the Spirit. I got it.
Well, 12.
Is there one?
That's it?
Oh, Galatians 5:25.
25. Yeah, 5 and 16.
5:25. Walking in the Spirit.
Galatians.
Yeah, Galatians 5 and 16. I think you read verse 17. Or did you read verse 16? Where it says, then I said, and walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Yeah, we go read it again.
Yeah, we'll read it again. This is Galatians 5 and 16. It says, this I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary one to another, that ye cannot do the things that ye would. Right? But if you be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. So people see this, and a lot of Christians be like, damn, man, we ain't under the law no more. Look, the Spirit is the law. The Spirit is keeping the things that God told you to do. That's what we read Romans 7, right? Romans 7 and 14 says the law. Let's get it real quick. Give me Romans 7 and 14.
Book of Romans chapter 7 and 14.
Right.
For we know that the law is spiritual.
That the what?
But that the law is spiritual.
The law is what makes you spiritual. Why? Because you're doing the things that Yahweh did, right? You're walking after the way of truth. So when we read verse 19, we read all that. And we just read that. But let's get verse 25. Let's jump to verse 25. Galatians 5 and 25 says, if we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Oh, this is critical right here, man. Y'all don't know what Paul really said. He said, if you living in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. I mean, you might have some brothers that they sort of live in it. They sort of live in it. They're around brothers in the truth. They keep it. They keep some commandments. But whenever something comes up, they sort of fall away. They walk in the ways of the world. But he's telling you, if you living in the Spirit, walk in the Spirit. You got to continue to walk that walk, man, and talk that. If you want to talk that talk, you got to walk the walk, right? So if you're going to live in the Spirit, you in this truth, you serving the Most High, you doing the things the Most High told you to do, you got to walk it once you tempt it. You got to walk it once these things come up to try to bring up that old man. You got to put him to death again, right? And it says, verse 26, let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another and envying one another. So you can't be provoking your brothers. You can't be provoking your wife. You can't be provoking your husband. Husband, you can't be provoking your wife, man. Right? You got to be, don't be desirous of vainglory. We was just talking about this. Don't be desirous of getting glory over your own flesh, your own other. What are you getting vainglory for? Right? In your household. You want to get the one up. Don't do that. Walk in the Spirit and not in the ways of the flesh. You got a precept? Y'all got a precept?
No, no precept.
You got a precept, y'all know?
Well, I think we got one at 8:14.
Yeah, I got a precept. This is Galatians 6, verse 8. And it says, we even started 7, classic. And it says, be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So if you're a carnal man, you're going to receive death. Right? If you walk in the Spirit of life, those are the people that's going to be resurrected. Those are the people, because you might be resurrected, but you're going to get put to death. But those are the people that's going to be resurrected and receive the kingdom of heaven and good tidings. Right? Those are the ones. And it says, verse 8, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. So if you always a fleshly, worldly person, what you think gonna happen to you, man? It's no coincidence why Jake, he's a murderer, he's a killer of his brother, he's a robber, he talks down on his brother, he's a hater, hater of his own people, and this brother gets shot down on the side of the street and get left and get on the news, man. And that's because he sold to his flesh and he reaped corruption, right? Of that flesh, he reaped corruption. That's what came with that, right? But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. So the people that say, I'm about to sow the Spirit, I'm not, just like the brother said, he gave a beautiful example. Times when you got to walk spiritually because you're going to be tempted to walk in the flesh. And you got to say, okay, I'm gonna put the seed of the Spirit in there. I'm going to walk in the Spirit. I'm not going to be like no nigga. I'm not going to be like everyone else in the world, man. That's right. This is a decision you got to make, right? And your decision is already ordained of what you're going to do, right?
I got one on there.
Yeah,
Romans 8:26. Likewise, the Spirit also help our infirmities, for we know not what we shall pray,
right?
For as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groaning, which cannot be uttered.
Right.
And he that searches the hearts knows what is of the mind of the Spirit, because the Maker intercessions for the saints according to the will of God. And we know that all things work together for the goodness of them that love the Most High, to them who are called according to his purpose.
Right. So them that are called according to their purpose. That's why you read things in the Bible and it says, him that, we'll just give you 1 John, I think it's 1 John 3:9.
So you know what I learned that these things are already figured out.
Exactly. That's why it says 1 John 3:9. I'm gonna go right before you even bring it out. It says, whosoever is born of God doeth not commit sin. Now people be like, how the hell the brother didn't commit sin? That brother used to go off. I know the brother. I knew the brother in the world, man. That's because you have certain men that have been called to a purpose, right? And in the Most High's eyes, he's already forgiven them for all their transgressions. He's going to forgive them for the things they've done. They've been called to that purpose, right? And it says, for his seed remaineth in him, right? And he cannot sin because he is born of God. So the Most High, he got this certain men and certain people he set up that you ain't got nothing you can say against these brothers, man. Like Job. Why you think the scripture say he was perfect with God? Now you're going to have somebody say, man, ain't no way in hell Job was perfect. To the Most High he was.
Said Noah was the perfect in his generation.
Yeah, Noah was perfect. How you? You know, brothers say, man, ain't nobody was perfect except Yahushua. Hey, in the eyes of the Most High, that man was perfect. In the eyes of the Most High, that man did no sin. He committed no sin.
Abraham was perfect.
And who are you to go against? Yeah, Abraham. Who are you to say against the Most High? Well, that brother, he did go off one time.
That's right.
Hey, there's certain brothers that lived in these scriptures that had no faults against them. You couldn't even say nothing about them.
Blameless.
The blameless, right? And feared the Most High. So you know, y'all got any more precepts? I want to get one more. All right, come. I'm going to get 1 John chapter 4 and verse 1. And it says, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are going out into the world. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesseth that a Mashiach Yahushua is come in the flesh is of God, right? And every spirit that confesseth not that a Mashiach Yahushua is come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, whereof you have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world. So, and we know about the so-called Old Testament Israelites or whatever. But look, the point is, he that confesseth that a Mashiach Yahushua is come in the flesh is of God. Because for you, we ain't talking about the Christians and all these people in the world. They always say Christ came, Christ died. That's not who the Most High's talking about. When he's saying confessing, these are the people that believe, right? And the people that believe, they're not just saying it, They live it. They live after the spirit of the Most High, man. They walk after Yahweh Shah, man. When it says confessing, they know deep down in their spirit. They ain't talking about the Christians out here that's saying, I believe in Christ, right? Oh, I know Christ died on the... They don't mean they of God just because you say that statement, right? It's the people that believe and they confess within themselves and they walk after Christ. Those are the people that set up that are of God and born of God.
That's right. So
you got to get that right too. Because this is something a Christian to use and say, look, I confess Christ live, baby. I'm good. I can sin and be wicked and all those things I want to do. As long as I do 1 John 4:2 and confess that Christ is come in the flesh, and I'm of God. That's not what the Most High is saying.
That's right.
Right? He's talking about the people that believe. And they, when he says confess, you know what a confession means? You really believe with all your might that you believe that Yahweh Shah died on the cross for your sins, the nation of Israel's sins. And you live according to that life. You walk in the spirit of Christ, like we were just reading all it through Romans, right?
Right.
So, Con, you got to do that, man. You got any more precepts? I want to get one more. Deuteronomy. Give me Deuteronomy 30. We'll let this be the last one.
All right.
Because we got to go out to count. Deuteronomy 30 and 18.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 18. I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land,
Right.
whither thou passest over the Jordan to go possess it. Verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
Right, so the Most High set before his life and death.
Yeah.
Life being spiritually minded, and death being carnally minded, doing whatever the hell you want to do, and making your own decisions. Right? Keep reading.
Blessing and cursing.
So he got blessings on the spiritual side, and his cursings on the carnal side. Keep reading.
Blessings and cursing. Therefore, choose life.
Do what?
Choose life.
So you need to choose life. You need to choose being spiritual, because we read being carnally minded is death, and being spiritual minded is life and peace. Right? Keep reading.
Choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
Right. And that your children walk after the spirit and not carnally minded.
That's right.
Right? Keep reading. Let's see what this life, let's see what choosing life is. Right?
That thou mayest love the Lord thy God.
Right.
And that thou may obey his voice.
Obey his voice. Do what he told you to do, not what you want to do, but what he told you to do. Keep reading.
And that thou mayest cleave unto him.
No, cleave unto your feelings and what you think. What does it say?
That thou may cleave unto him.
That you may cleave unto the Most High. When your moments where you stressing, where you going through it, where you tempted, where you going through hell, cleave unto the Most High. Read some scriptures. Go into the word before you go off, before you sin, before you do the wrong thing, that you know deep down within yourself, cleave unto the Most High. Right in those moments. Keep reading.
Cleave unto him, for he is thy life.
Right.
And the length of thy days.
Right.
And that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord swore unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to give them.
Con. I'm gonna get this quick. I'm gonna get one more before we leave out. I might end it there, but hold on. So another one I want, like somewhere in here. Yeah, give me Matthew 10 at 33.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 33. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven.
Right. So we're not talking about just actually denying Christ and saying, well, we ain't even going to say those things, but y'all know what denying someone is. But you can deny Christ in your spirit. You can deny Christ by the actions that you make. You can deny Yahushua by making actions contrary to what he told you to do. You can deny him, right? Yeah, the Most High told you everything to do, and you walk in the ways of the world, and you continue to make carnal decisions. That's denying him. That's denying what he stood on and what he stood for. See, everyone thinks you got to actually say in your mouth that you deny Yahushua. No, man. These things are actions that you do in your life that is denying him.
By the works.
Yeah, by the works thereof. I think I might end off with that. I was looking for a precept in Matthew, but I think it's in Matthew 18. Yeah, Matthew 16 and 24. And we're going to end off on that.
Matthew 16 and verse 24. And then Yahushua said unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself.
Let him do what?
Let him deny himself.
So if you're going to come after Yahushua, if you're going to be a follower of the Most High, you're a Hebrew Israelite.
That's right. Came
into the truth, getting understanding and wisdom from the Lord, you got to deny yourself. Now, denying yourself ain't just the simple things and wearing fringes. Denying yourself is denying the whole old person you used to be.
That's right.
The whole carnal person that gets riled up and does things carnally and doesn't think spiritually, right? You got to deny yourself. That old man that you used to be, you got to say, hell no. I'm about to go after the way that the Most High set before me. I'm finna choose life because that's life and peace, right? I'm going to choose to be spiritually minded and not carnal minded. Keep reading.
For whoever will save his life. Slack you. If any man will come after me, let him deny himself,
right,
and take up his cross and follow me.
You gotta take up his cross and follow you.
God.
Now, what's the cross? The stuff you gonna have to go through, the stuff you finna have to endure. That don't mean, hey, you might be one of the brothers that might die on the cross in the latter days. But Yahushua is talking about the things you have to endure for the Most High. That's what the cross is. Right. The things you're going to have to endure is these temptations. You know the cross was a temptation for Yahushua? Right? The cross was a temptation. Are you going to really die for these people that hate you, that despise you? That was a temptation for him. Now, your temptation might be something else. What you're going through might be something else. That's going to have to be your cross, and you're going to have to bear that cross. You're going to have to endure all things. You have to endure those things, man. You have to choose the spirit over the flesh, because the flesh, Yahushua, man, you think if Yahushua walked in the ways of the flesh, you think he would have died for a whole nation of people that despised and hated everything about the Most High and walked in the ways of the world? No, he wouldn't, right? But he walked in the spirit. That's the same thing you got to do, and the same thing you got to live your life by making decisions based off the spirit, overcoming these things, overcoming the cross, right? You got to bear your cross, man.
That's right.
Read verse 20.
Whosoever will save his life shall lose it.
Now, whosoever will save his life is going to lose it. Now, if you're still trying to hold on to that old person, you're going to lose your life, man. That's right. You're going to die. You still let that old person creep up and crawl. You keep letting them creep up and crawl. And for you know, you that old person again. That's right. For you know, you the same person you used to be. You back in the world. You speaking the same things, acting the same way. Right?
David made a quote, take not their spirit from me.
Yeah, come.
Most High gonna take his spirit from me.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
He did King Saul.
Come.
You back in the world.
That's right. Come, keep reading.
And whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find.
You gotta lose your life. Now that's not talking about go and take a knife and kill yourself, talking about I did it for Yahushua. Right? No, that's not what it's talking about. It's talking about you gotta kill that old man. You gotta kill that person that you once were. That's right. You gotta destroy that person, right? And follow Yahushua. Then follow after the ways of truth and understanding. You gotta be willing to lose your life, everything that you used to be. You gotta give it up. right? You got to overcome it, right?
Walk in the spirit.
Keep reading.
For what is a man profit if he shall gain the whole world?
Say you gain those things. You gain. Say you walk in. You go carnal minded, and you do the things carnally.
That's right. Matter of fact, we was out there in camp, man. We was touching on the topic last night, man. For what is a man's profit if he shall gain the whole world? So what if you seeking after the worldly things, man? Like you want to be an NFL football player, right, or you want to be a rapper, man. You know, you seeking after the things of the world. And what if you should gain the whole world? You go to college, be a college football star, and you get drafted to the NFL, playing for the Chicago Bears, or you grow up want to be a rapper, and then you get signed by let's say you get signed by Cash Money Records or whatnot. You gain the whole world, right? But he shall lose his soul. You gain the whole world, and then you get shot when you performing. You in the club performing, and you get shot, or when you walk into your vehicle, you get robbed, right? So what profit is gaining the whole world, and you're gonna lose it all? There's no profit in that.
Shalom, General Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some more on that. And what shall a man? What shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
Right. What you gonna give in exchange for your soul, man? What you gonna give in exchange? You gonna let those carnal things that you do make you not get the kingdom? Right? You're gonna be overcome with evil. I gotta get that. What's that? Romans 10.
Romans 10.
Yeah. Romans 12 and 21. 12 and 21. We're going to end it off with that.
Right. It's the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 21.
Right.
Be not overcome with evil.
Don't be overcome with your evil, right? Don't be overcome with these carnal ways that you do.
That's right.
But do what?
But overcome evil with good.
But do what?
But overcome evil with good.
You got to overcome that evil with good. And we know what's good is. It's following the laws, statutes, commandments of God and changing your ways and killing that old man.
That's right.
That's the only way you're going to overcome it. You're not going to overcome it if you keep on letting that evil run over you, man. Right. You keep making a carnal decision every time. You're going to be overcoming evil. You're going to get cut off in the land of the living. That's right. Right. But if you overcome that evil with good, hey, those are the men that you're going to see in the last days that's going to stand up with an exceeding and great army, right? And stand up for the Most High and make it to the kingdom and rule over nations and states.
That's right.
Y'all got anything else y'all want to say before we end off?
No, that was it right now.
Yeah. All right. With that, we give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
And Kwam Yashar.
Kwam Yashar.
And I want to say, we will be out at camp in probably about 40 minutes, downtown Greenville. Shalom.